Hello. Hope everybody's doing well today. I haven't been playing this game for a bit just because my voice was kind of shot. Like when I was sick. And I figured, you know what? And now is probably like one of the better times to do so. Now that my voice is actually feeling relatively better. Also, if you guys notice, I'm kind of swaying back and forth a little bit more. No, to applaud. No, I do feel like it because I know some people were waiting on it. You know, figure I might as well be polite about it. Anyhow, if you notice I'm swaying back and forth, apparently my tracking software got new motions, so I'm trying this one out just to kind of give it a little bit more liveliness, I guess would be the right way to say it. I don't know. Anyways, Gumbo, how you doing today? Oh, also, I apologize for being late, because I had a sleepy sausage on me. And I posted the pic in my Discord. Had sleep? Was it good sleep? Where the fuck is my game volume? Oh, there it is. Ever before to my PC was clown shoes. Oh yeah, I said go commit clown shoes. Do a honk shoe. Uni's here. Welcome, Uni. How you doing? Oh man, my ass itches. But like it's on the side that my cat is asleep on my arm. Figured you guys should know. Well, don't look at me. You're the one who's not moving. I'm sleepy boy. Anyways, how are you doing, Uni? How did the work go on your board game? Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. I forget everything. So what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and on a giant mystery. That's true. We still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. Sort of thought in my mind where after my XCOM enemy unknown refused to save and crashed instead of playing my... You mean like a daydream? Or what do you mean by like weird thought? No, that wasn't doubt. That was determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Yay, Gumshoe. I fifth. What? I weird that I think to do a new run instead of half reset. Oh, I find it weird that I think to... Have you been safe scumming or no? Saves coming? Yes. Yes, they are. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. And how did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Yeah. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Oh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. I don't. Yeah, come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of the aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Tribulations kitchen a couple days ago. Ah, well, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. That thing that usually happens in Pokemon games where a game will crash without saving or I close it without saving. But in return, I have to play back whatever I lost and just don't play the game. Oh, yeah, the basically lost a ton of progress and you kind of lose motivation to do it. Nah, I get you, but that's why XCOM has autosaves. XCOM usually backs up every 2 turns or something. But I bet it. Nah, I don't blame you. Usually it's something that happens like that to me. Like I just usually wait like a month or so to go back into it. On most occasions, privately. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. Finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. I'm usually using my connections to the characters. Medication. Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears, you mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medication doing in the kitchen? And what about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... it's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? I'm going to expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. It's not. It's final. I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta gush about my cat. He looks so at peace when he's asleep on my arm. He hasn't been sleeping with me, like... Well, I mean, whenever I go to bed, he's always at the end of the bed sleeping. Usually sprawled out and doing silly kitty dream things. But whenever I'm on my recliner, he doesn't hop up on my arm as much. But when he does, he's like super happy and super purry. He just looks so at peace, you know? I'm going back to Enemy Unknown and remembering sectoids as stupid little boys and not the biggest piece of suffrage. Do you mean suffering? But yeah, fuck sectoids, man. Actually, in XCOM 2, the enemies that caused me the most grief were probably the codices. Do your cats lay on you, Gumbo? Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Part 2. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Coffee. He is the cat? Yeah, to an extent, but he has his own cats. How's it going, Marine? When I lie down, Philip just stands on top of me. Elohim does that if he hasn't seen me for a while. Or when it's breakfast time. My breakfast. He always has breakfast. Marine, did you see the picture I posted in my server? Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. The cat loves to be held as it keeps her still. My cat loves to be held too. That and tummy rubs. Oh, Elohim had to readjust because he's using me as a pillow and he has to make sure I'm properly comfortable. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard a testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed a defendant putting a powder to the victim's, coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. According to the old man's testimony, he picked up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in the ear. Oh, shit, my neck. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Oh boy, sex music. Ha, allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godo. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Philip stresses him up like a baby, even though he has like 20 times the size. I think once a lap cat, always a lap cat. That's one of the things I was so happy about when I adopted, well, now Elohim, then Blitz. Is that little Blitz, I picked him up and he instantly, like, shifted his entire weight into my chest. Like, he just wanted to be held. And ever since then, this cat has loved to be held and put upside down and played with. He is my special boy. And if anybody harms this cat, I will destroy the entire world and then myself. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well, let the first witness take the stand. Ah, shit. Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and the chef of the Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking witness, but are you a woman? Well, no, monsieur. As you can see, I am la pert and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Isn't that right? Was you, monsieur? I just thought of something really fucking cursed. Can I do it, guys? Let's see if I still have it. Trying to figure out if I have it. Maybe some downloads? Maybe it's in my... Which? Alright, you ready for Cursed? Let's see if I size this right. One of these chat members is going to hate me. I'm sorry, Gumbo. Gumbo is French? What a strange turn of events. Nothing wrong with French people, of course, it's just that Gumbo's English. Hold on, I want to try something here. Okay, guess not. I've been trying to catch Elohim while he's asleep so I can clip his nails. He's a bit on the sharp side. Everything feels right. Ha! Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? I'm very much a unicorn? Okay. Very well, your testimony please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribulations. Oui, volontiers. I apologize to every French person in the world for botching the language. When it all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decos that day. Like having a large mirror between the... Oh, a large mirror. Between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. A cup, the earpiece, and the glasses, he would have seen everything in reverse, no? A mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. The most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. What if everything appear back to front? What the heck, it's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. I'm curious as to how this is going to go. And who are the 2 customers exactly? My, of course. A young man who died. And the other, not so young man. You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume? What the other man Maggie says she saw at the table. Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You're not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur. Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Ahem. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned. Are you referring to some sort of decature? Decoction? What? No, Art Deco. It's a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course. That deco. Both Uni and Gumbo had the same brain cell there. I was trying to achieve a more la effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of the decor. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Wow. Somewhere between 4 meters wide and we about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, that's huge. 1 meter is not about 1 yard. I think. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? No, I don't remember. Might not, but I decided not to go through as it in the end. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. There's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But... You didn't ask, Troit. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? Mirror was delivered to Tribien the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. As it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This does not add up. If the mirror was delivered to Tribien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ha! You want to doubt someone, try it, look in the mirror. The person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Perhaps that was what the old man was looking at. Normally I expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even to you. Eh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the pork-you-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite? Yeah, not there. I do not have a top-knot. This court is strange? It is strange. Mr. Godo is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Bien, logic has won the day. The couple of earpiece and the glasses, you would have seen everything in reverse, no? Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse. Oui. Hey Nick, we should take a sec to think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? Wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. Saw everything he described reflected in a mirror. Everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Ha! It's kinda hard to believe I think old CD saw everything through reflection. If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. It's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've gotta dig deeper. Right, that reminds me, I gotta disable my right click. Oops, not what I meant to do. Why is Maya a better lawyer than Phoenix right here? I would say no. What the fuck is his testimony? Oh. Where was he sitting again? He would have been sitting here, I think. I don't remember where he was sitting. So is this a giant mirror then? No, it can't be because of the TB. Or maybe this disproves that there's one there? Fuck. Wait, no, I didn't save. Wait. No, because he said he saw the earpiece and the HMD on the same side, I think. Oh, okay. Coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a sec, shall we? Always wearing the earpiece on the same side of the as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now if Mr. Kudo saw that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactment. You see, Monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that is where we went into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order, order. Mr. Red is correct. The witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, and we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. How bitter. That's right, you should have a taste of this bitterness. I'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks. You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase, sorry. Apology, I mean, it's Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly, the old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. That's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? There's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Ha. Well, trait. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Oh, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo was good. Enough. Must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you've found is just a rash. That's disgusting. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So what exactly was the old man looking at? Hey, listen, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. AA stream? Are you saying AA stream or ah stream? Also, how's it going, newbie? How you doing? Kudo's evidence, old man be tripping. How's everyone? I'm alive. AA? Okay. Alcoholics Anonymous? Lord, is everyone sitting comfortably? A mirror. It was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing into two halves. There was only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. No, okay, so it couldn't have been him because the vase was broken. And in the picture, the vase was perfectly fine. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. Can't wait for you to get to the next two cases. Oh boy. And I apologize newbie for not doing this before, but my voice just wasn't feeling it. Especially since I was recovering from being sick because of my idiot fucking cousin. Sorry, still salty. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Naturally, I did not touch anything else. No problems with the explanation we have just heard. On the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. Will you wait with Apollo Justice until the second trilogy releases on Steam? Probably. But I'm not entirely sure because I'm not sure if or when I'll be able to afford it. And no, please don't go, nobody go and buy me the fucking game. I'd rather you guys save your money than anything. Gone far on board game, I just know I want to have a shared deck of cards for all players. Okay. See, what I would have done is I would have worked, like, done the objective and worked backwards. We can keep up except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. I'm gonna instantly try pouncing on that and see if it's wrong. The second trilogy, despite having played all of them already. I mean, more power to you. Capcom is not entirely a bad company from what I can tell. I haven't heard anything bad of Capcom as of late. Is this the right one? Yeah. Ah, nailed him. I am smart. Well, this is my favorite of the 8 games and I wanted to see it in HD. From what I can tell of the little bit of lore that I've learned, I think I might enjoy Dual Destinies. Also, banger music. Also, Athena Sykes. Because, yeah, I did see the trailer, and yeah, I did kind of fall in love with her design. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. A crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist. Ha, sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is this something that should not exist in this photo? I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? Dual Destinies would be my favorite was not for one tiny thing, but I will not tell you until you played it. Okay. Possible connection does that have to, with this witness's testimony? Your Honor? I'm telling you that there should not have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there was an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribulations that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Apollo Justice is the only one of the 6 games where there's not a single case I hate. Nice. All I know from Apollo Justice onwards is that there's no Gumshoe. I would have really liked to see Gumshoe in 3D. Don't try to confuse the courts, right? Obviously the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Yep, no Gumshoe. Oh, he's one of my favorite characters, if not the best one. Unfortunately, Mr. Goto, that does not quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. God. Only players in the investigations games after that? Okay. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we turn back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which she couldn't hear? Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, trite, this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. My favorite AA overall is Chronicles 2, amazing game. I think Pris gifted me Chronicles 2, but I kind of don't want to play that until after the entirety of the AA and Apollo Justice. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. I believe so. Let me double check on that quickly. Question, newbie, because I know Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice is 3D. Do you think they're gonna make the 2D Apollo Justice 3D? Okay. What the fuck would it be called? Would it be Ace Attorney Chronicles? No. Alright, it was just a thought, newbie. Not entirely sure. There's Chronicles on Steam. Yeah, but I'm trying to remember like what the fuck it was called. Oh, there we go. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It had a G in it. Yeah, that's the one I have. Or the one that Pris gifted me. Alright, the reason behind the contradiction of Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Victim is a phony? Can't be Mr. Kudo made a mistake. That doesn't seem right. Dear Doctor Mistake. Yeah, we're just gonna go with victim. Victim was phony. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed, and the incident the victim experienced, were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. First Chronicle took me 80 hours, holy shit. What do you mean, Gumbo? What clear and descriptive error message now? Or are you being sarcastic? Oof. Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? That's right. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Gumbo, are you using CurseForge? Because I would just recommend doing mod packs instead of installing individual mods. Playing any AA with a language barrier is hard. Yeah, are you happy that the AJ trilogy is getting a German translation? Client-side mods, mod packs will not give me what I want. And what do you want, Gumbo? Get real, Trey. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? I think Mr. Kudo was most insistent about it in his testimony was... The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the servant girl right there in the defense chair. I remember her well. Give me a second, guys. Go, but I'm pretty sure you can see that through F3. That's the servant girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. So hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story is a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. You would have noticed what was happening. I have such mixed feelings about this case. Same. Also, excuse me. Over the top A, and this case is a prime example, but unlike most characters here. Yeah, I do too. Let's press F3 and then stand on the block. It was much oh, okay. What are you trying to do with the light levels? It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, your restaurant was really the scene of such theatrics. You would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. Stop dumbass zombies from spawning well. Just place down torches then. Make sure it's bright enough, and if it's not bright enough, then put a torch in a spot where it's darker than the rest. Or put slabs everywhere. I want it to be moody, then half slabs. Half slabs stop anything from spawning. I will do it my way. Oh boy. Whatever. You do you. About AJ is it's the only of the 6 games which does not show you the killer right away in any of the cases. Huh. Okay. Spence's request for additional testimony is accepted. You'll accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. Oh, oui. The victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you've just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. We... Yeah, I agree, newbie. Like, I like French people, but there seems to be, like, an almost air of fake French, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Yeah, newbie, I agree. For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Was he alone at his table as well? My oui. I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers that differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Fortunately for you, Trite, yesterday's witness was also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. Neat part, Armstrong isn't actually French. Okay. I think Gumbo mentioned that before, but I don't know if and when it came up. Remember the old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, he comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. We should ask about his arrival in more detail. Never mentioned in the games? Oh, okay. Gumbo, it's not a crime to be French. So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived? Oui, that is correct. That still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. By your recollection, how many time would you say elapsed? Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes, that's all? Seems unlikely that anything untoward would have happened in such a short time. Rats. I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. Rats. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, Monsieur. I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. Tasty Ember. Crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? Well, that incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 and 2:10, no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help and jog my memory, Monsieur. You are wonderful. Where the fuck's the autopsy? So he could have died earlier then. Ha ha ha. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Oui, Monsieur Judge. Everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha. I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Are you absolutely sure about the time? When I think really hard, I am sure it was just after 2. Oui. It is the time I stopped serving the lunch menu. Quite right, I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. But known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Don't remind me, newbie. I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness, get on with your testimony, please. The only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim. How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Troit? You never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift. There's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. You got word he won the lottery? Okay. Did you see him? No, I was in the kitchen. But I heard him. I remember him shouting, yes, $500,000. Presumably the defendant heard that too. Is that incorrect? Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. What about Mr. Kudo? The old man choked on some birdseed that got stuck in his throat. It seems we have now yet another incident on our hands. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning occurred. I think I know where to present evidence, but I'm just trying to make sure. What were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. I'm a multi-talented woman, Monsieur. Sorry? What do you mean? There is the renowned chef Jean Armstrong and the tragic poet Clarice Armstrong. Clarice? I was writing a poem. An angry tale of a chef and $500,000 debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It's called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for the court. Please don't. No, there was no time for the phony to do the acting. You contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from the payphone. By your own arguments, right? The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man could see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed. Bien, it seems the shadow of the dead has been lifted, n'est-ce pas? I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Alec, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you were right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act? Not for sure once I find a hole in his testimony. I want to say it's the autopsy because he could have died like half an hour beforehand. What? Fuck. Is it this? Oh, okay. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What? What do you mean? The time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Please, that must be the show Mon Alec was listening to. Can't see any problems with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder... See, the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2, correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, Trite, if you have one. That show was broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy would have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we have been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, matching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. The victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were two Glen Elgs in Tribia that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. The phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how would you explain the time discrepancy? Quite a performance trait. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it is now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at the time the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion. Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. The customer was the phony Glen Elg. Then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. Your theory is to stand up to examination by a court. You must provide with the proof by answering the prosecution's question. 8, I think. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure here all of a sudden? Thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed? It would have to be inside, wouldn't it? Would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribien. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Tribien, it would have had to be in the kitchen. The body was in here. I see. Nice supposition. The real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Oh, fuck. Oh. Maybe I thought about this wrong because the matches were found at Tenderlunder. The only thing I could think of that would cause... Okay, so, okay, I was on the right path initially, but looking at the match just kind of stumbled me a bit. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. It's the highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Eh? Quoi? Why don't I ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils? But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense has the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have lab results here. Contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu. Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No. Order. This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg? Never. I could not do such a horrible thing. No. Oh. Mr. Godo? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have any of the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend? H? Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. There's a trap, listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. Oh. Oh, he was caught. Ooh. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No. Absolutely no. It's Fix the Judge. Shit! Oh wait, hold on, I have an idea. Let's hear it. If all the evidence checks out to me? Yeah. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. Give me a second here. Where's my Twitch? I gotta send that to him. Sorry, I had to screenshot and send that to him. Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Goto's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. It is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear, you must believe me. You were forced? By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? There was... Finally! There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. Let me cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell him the name of the real killer. I think I hate to do this to Armstrong, but you have $500,000 debt, don't you? $500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong? Oui, je suis désolé. I was weak, and I borrowed the money. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why he couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you're forced to do anything this man told you. Oui. It is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. A tiger. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the innocent Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Goto, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. "30 minutes. What? Trial will go on. I'll see it to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more." Alva? Don't sit back and relax yet, Trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Goto. We will resume Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. I'll keep going. I want to finish this case. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Goto picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. If that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot. It's not a topknot. Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. Ugh. No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. I am gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will reconvene by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True, without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. Said you can get some fingerprints analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? If you're going back to the station anyways, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh hey, that's a small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Alright, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. I feel like it's gonna be Deus Ex Gumshoe. Shit, sorry. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Goto, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Ah, shit, he's gonna be fucking wired. Tamed him. The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. Pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. I forgot to unmute myself. I went to go check something and I forgot to unmute myself. Fuck, I'm sorry, guys. Also, I'm gonna do something quickly. There we go. I appreciate it. I was reading this off and yeah. I last found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Oh. What is it, please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that? I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and he's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. Don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Ha! I love a good spectator sport. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Sorry. I'm actually unmuted this time. Ha! I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. What? You'd better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. Finally, do you plan on playing the finals at any point? No. I'm gonna say that straight up, and this is probably the last time, because I know Gumbo has been asking me to as well. I have no interest in playing the finals. Overwatch again? Maybe. TF2 again? Maybe. Finals? Probably not. I've no qualms against people who enjoy the game. If it's for you, it's you can enjoy it. It doesn't seem like something I would enjoy. All I Lose is a good title. I don't get what you mean. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna... Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Final plays the finals, it's perfect. Yeah. So I can't press this guy. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all my time in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every day. If you want to check my alibi, just ask Violetta. I am curious. By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini families? Yeah. You don't want to cross them, or you're just gonna wind up sleeping with the fishes. Once the Godfather finds out you've been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do you in. Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there. He said that just like Violetta, or Viola, didn't he? I get the feeling this would not be the right time to probe about her. Why would he sleep with the fishes? Is he a pescophiliac? Yes. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says. That's where I was. Seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Ugh. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. It's more than what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? I'm gonna press on this one because I have the schedule that says December 3rd. Mr. Tigre, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. The dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last testament was important. Mr. Goda, if you could please... Mr. Tigre, the court asks that you add the last statement to your testimony. Let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. They used talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw the kid before. And this is where I think the schedule comes into play. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elk, but it appears that Mr. Elk knew you. What? Mr. Elk left this little note in his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elk. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad, he's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you, to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Ruh-roh. What you're saying that you claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I'm dead. I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Ha. Do not say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. God, this guy is smooth. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? You ever actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tender Lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. Never been to that Tribune joint, you's here? I see. It all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but you didn't show up. Heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Sorry, give me a second here. Totally didn't pass out for a sec. But if you're tired, you should sleep. Sleep is important. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bell's going straight to you, right? Ugh. I don't have to be up early? If you're sure. You still shouldn't sacrifice sleep. It's bad for your health. I'm gonna jump on something just to see. Oh, okay, I was right again. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you's talking about? You found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. Ooh. You've really never been to Tribune before. What was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around my stuff too now, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad control on me. Order, order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay, I was in the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. The more I fight this guy, the more it makes it less, like, obvious. It's like he's not even trying to... Whatever. Looks like another order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. This most hilarious scene is coming up in this case soon. Oh. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be. So I split. I had the cops' sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I'm not even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Ha. No problem. Anytime Tripe presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Goto, that's my job. Your job is to slam the little ham of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since he's paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? I gotta find some here. Supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. That seems right. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy that was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Seems fine enough. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. The cop's sirens on my way out, so I went back to my... He couldn't have seen this scene, right? Because there was a barrier in the way. An ugly scene? What do you mean? Okay, I guess. The witness has already told us, right? Which makes the question irrelevant. But... I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. Wasn't it 16 in the last trial? You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, right? Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney. Ashen. They'll make me burn you again. What? Or no, I guess oh fuck, I should've just presented the plans. That's what I should have done. Fuck. Alright. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this straight? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You see, we're standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have been covered in an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's scene. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. The court will think back. You'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you didn't see the victim that day, because you met with him. Oh, but you did see the victim that day, because you met with him. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer just posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out of charade. That will do. The trial's gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk. and impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. God damn it. Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Ha. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godo. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see the victim. Or didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no. The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. Fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Ha! Found your pen at last, Triton? It was in my pocket. Ahem, but anyway. Mr. Kudo witnessed 2 people that day. Nom Nom members, yup. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress is an imposter as well? Defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the event in the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? The only one I could think of would have to be her. Who is this woman? Her name is Violica Davarini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. He's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home and making it. Better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. She'd have a kind of a cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real, and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about. He's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you just missed out on one real important thing. Well, that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? Ha! What a troublemaker. Troublemaker. Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Disgusting. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Alright. Yeah, I loaned El Cash. About $100,000. That day, it was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? Delicious testimony. Delicious. So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won. $500,000. You got lucky, you know. Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over. Now I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Alg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you've got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know? That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Trying to think of where this would be. Do I press on this one? Waitress, you mean the girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair? Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. We should push a little on this. How things would have been? What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. So I can tell from the witness's testimony. Other than recouping the Liz loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. I was after the $100,000, I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. So how do you guys think about the new motion of my avatar? Just kind of slowly swaying back and forth. Yeah, at least it keeps his arms together. That's what I'm thankful for. Because before I had my, like, my one arm like just like directly out to the side, and I really hated that because like, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys something just quickly. So if I'm just gonna like when I adjust this to be 0. Negative one's close enough, I guess. So I always look at a 45-degree angle. Let me show you something. Let me open up the pose chart here. This is what the normal one looks like. Like I hate the slight head cock. Like the slight tilt of the head, that fucking bothered me. And the fact that the arms are so wide out also bothered me. I think it was white too. Penguin final, exactly, I hated it. Here, I can play the games. I can play the game with you guys. Turn the front view into a meme if you want. Go right ahead. Also, gonna do something quickly. So you guys actually do like the new motion? Does it feel a little bit more lively in 3D? You do like it? Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate the input. You sure are 3D? Thanks, Gumbo. Appreciate your input. I have no other reason to kill the guy. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Alg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Alg, $100,000 wasn't enough to cover it, was it? Huh? About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery. Where'd you get all this info? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses was due in December of last year, and was paid in full. $1 million, a preposterous sum. Someone should sue those HMOs. Ha! No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. $1 million. Order. You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright. Oops. Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? That's the second time you said it. Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and... Doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Woof. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt. Order, order, order. What do you say to that, witness? It's a nice little fairy tale trait. But even if the witness did need $1 million, it doesn't tie him to Mr. Elg's murderer. Mr. Elg only owed him $100,000, and no hope of repaying it anyway. Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my spit. I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true. The opposite? Handing money without no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But, in this case, the very fact that that Glen Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? You know where you're going with this, Nick? You've got to think outside the box, Maya. Outside the box? It's very straightforward. Mr. Treegear wasn't after the $100,000 at all. Seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? What exactly was Mr. Tigre after? It would have to be MC Bomber, wouldn't it? Sorry, give me a second. Glen Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. His name is Derek. Derek Alfredo. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Can you explain how skill can be used as collateral to secure a loan trade? Sorry. I was just trying to text. He had the skill to create a computer virus, and so he did. A virus known as MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What is one of the... What? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. Get first place in the finals 3 times in a row, according to the Steam. Neat. Okay, it's not Sphinx. Yeah, Sphinx would know a computer, but complain that it's in Windows. Or sorry, that things aren't Linux compatible. Actually, MC Bomber only attacks Linux computers, because Sphinx wouldn't know how to program for Windows. Love you, bud. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber's would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Fucking muted again. God damn it. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on his CD. Glenn Ellick had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would have preferred to say never happened. But he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly, at the 11th hour, Mr. Ellick won $500,000 on the lottery. CD's nuts high. Which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Ellick and then made his next move. To frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre poses Glenn Ellick, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. Excuse me. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Order, order. Silence or I'll clear the courtroom. He's put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid and created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright. Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. Fuck, my neck is stiff. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing here in this very court a mere month ago. Phoenix Wright, who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove that the attorney who presented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Hey. Forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godo is right. Your Honor? Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, this man's gonna die of a caffeine overdose. I think he already has. That's why he's wearing the mask, because he's fucking wired at all times. He needs a visor to slow things down for his brain. I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. Are you alright, Severed? What happened on your commute? No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will not excuse the witness. Circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. Are we gonna be hit with another fucking Deus Ex Mia? Say you impersonated Glenn Elg. You say he impersonated you. On my way to work, got a rock to the windshield and took 2 hours to get home because our first day of... Yeesh. Was it any serious damage? But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. No, Ha. Small chip, but now I gotta deal with that shit. Yeah, I'm not... Or sorry, plenty of accidents on the road. One dude blew the stop sign as soon as I was about to pass them. Luckily didn't smash it. Wow. You got really lucky today then. I'm glad you're safe. Although I'm sorry that you're dealing with the damage. I don't blame you for being irritated. Just take a breather, get some water, get some food, hopefully something tasty. Or at least satisfying for your tummy so you're not like doubly hangry. So truck flinging rocks. Oh, I hate that. And you can never fucking pin the blame on them because it's like, oh well, I was doing my rounds with this usually happens over here with snowplows. Oh, I was doing my rounds as a snowplow. It could have been any snowplow during that day. Like fuck, man, really? And I'm glad you bought a burrito. What kind of burrito did you get? Usually I got myself a chorizo burrito. That shit's banger. Or spiced pork to some people who don't know. There's a place in the city I used to live in. I cannot buy burritos anymore from places unless I go to that one's place specifically. Because it's like, once you've had the best, you don't want anything else. Unfortunately, I don't want to name the place because that might put an area where I was. Salt truck blasted down a busy hill on the wrong side of the road, almost hit a person turning left. Wow. I don't understand how people. Okay, my grandfather was in that kind of position. He used to be a heavy vehicle operator, Zambonis, plows, I think he was bulldozer. Flame grilled chicken burrito, nice. 14 inches. Ah, yeah. Yeah, there's. I can't say the name of the burrito because it's I think it's trademark name from that. It's a small place. It's not franchised, but the burrito's the fucking size of a small infant. Like it's huge and it's delicious. Of course, I got to get like triple to quadruple cheese. BA burrito? No. It's a place local only to that city. Anyhow, I never had burritos. Newbie, I would recommend doing it at least once. Get yourself some ground beef, some spices, cheese, rice, peppers. I'm only a blanket burrito. Okay. Well, I would say try it at least once. Just to say you've tried it. It is delicious. You gotta have cheese, you gotta have rice, probably some sauteed peppers and onions, and of course either beef or pork, spiced pretty liberally with a bunch of spices, including cumin. But I would definitely recommend trying it at least once. And since it's a pretty modular dinner or lunch or what have you, it works pretty well that you can just throw something else, throw one of the ingredients into something else. Like you can throw the sauteed peppers into like a spaghetti sauce or something like that. As an example. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You's got that? All we managed to do here is chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. I hope everybody heard that scream. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence that maybe could get Maggie off the hook. The witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Oh wait, is it Deus Ex Gumshoe? Your Honor, sir? Wait. Detective. Detective Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Gumshoe for the win. Sorry it took so long, pal. I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal. From this medicine bottle. Oh, so? Do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. Heh. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. Efurio Tigre's paw prints, alright. That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that they met the victim. The fact that his prints are on his bottle, it really doesn't make any difference now. Oh. If we didn't have this evidence, why was this trial started? We had this, and then we gave it to Gumshoe to go get checked. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. I want to give him a hug. Case 2-3. The final evidence was found in the last 5 minutes of the case. Yeah, exactly. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. I know, Uni. Detective, Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me? I'm sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait. He's gone. Is there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. I can't wait to play Dual Destinies. It excites me because I really like Athena. Sorry, I'm tripping all over my words today. All Ace Attorney courts are not real courts, and I shouldn't be angry, but I just am. I know. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. I think he's the second best character of the series in my opinion. Alright, first best then. What's your thinking? No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. The only thing I can think of. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's... Your Honor? Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new evidence has come to light. Or information has come to light. Fave is the main prosecutor of Chronicles. Interesting. Okay. Is he an asshole like the rest of the prosecutors? Well, is displayed as such. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre. What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. Is very respectful and fair? Good. Prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? What the hell's in it anyway? Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Isn't that... perjury? No. Wait a second again, I guess. Sorry about that, guys. My mom got a new haircut and wanted to show me all the colors and stuff. She's redheaded, so she's just like showing me like all the different. Because what she does is she does like 2 or 3 tones. Hey, and also, first of all, hello, Wizard Power. Hope you're doing good. Second of all, thank you for so much becoming a bonfire buddy. I appreciate that. Also, I have a cat who's being a bit of an asshole. Okay. Wizard, you should sleep. Sleep is important. But anyways, welcome in. Hope your day is going well. I'm not sure if I said it to Severed. So Severed, I hope besides the car, your day was okay. The programming exams should be good. Ooh. First of all, what difficulty of programming? Secondly, what programming language? Also, I completely forgot what the fuck I was trying to do. Mr. Tigray, this decisive piece of evidence that will this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains what the fuck? First year of college, so it's super easy. Java? Ooh, I hated Java. I took game development in college. And man alive, I hated Java. Java and SQL. I hated it. Contains potassium cyanide? This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? Poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. Hopefully you're having fun with this game. So far, so good. I finished the first 2. Are you a big proponent of these kind of games? Oh, let's bottle Mr. Tigray. We found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? Ha 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 ha. You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see it straight through you, Phoenix, right? That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Not really, but I do like the Ace Attorney franchise. Okay. Well, this is one of the campaign games in my cycle. The other one I finished was Xenoblade 3's Future Redeemed DLC. Wait, you got him? Yeah, I just got him because he just said it's the wrong bottle. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. The poison for Cusco. I'm just hoping it would be like ... shit. Got him. At last. What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you, people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. The anime in this scene is so good. We should watch it together one day, like as like a bonfire. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. Yous don't know who you's messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm just gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. That's just what you deserve. A phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. I'm not screaming. That's not how you say. There you go. Problem is, people are winding down for the night. I don't want to go screaming my ass off. What's going on? Looks like a blackout. Well done, Trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. I wish I could turn off lights by screaming. You can. It's called Google or Alexa. Basically, you'd be like, "Hey Google, set it so when I scream the lights turn off," or some shit like that. I always like the video of like "Hey Alexa, we're gonna need more gun," and then just like opens up for like a drawer with like Nerf guns and stuff. Like it's gonna dolphin time for the judge. I know what video you're talking about. the amount of times I've seen memes for that. Someone cosplayed the sprite of Phoenix with the coffee all over him. If you have pictures of that newbie, I want to see it. I've seen like because of that like jumping at the judge video server. I've seen so many people make like Phoenix Wright memes over it. That and a couple Sonic Unleashed ones. I'm not committing crimes no more, Your Honor. There's a Geometry Dash version of that meme? Really? You've got to send that too. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Grotto? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of a genuine evidence. But Tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. We didn't even get Deus Ex Me on this one. That guy say 17 cups? Yes, he did. I'll have to stream? Alright. Hiro Tigre is truly a frightening criminal. Or is a truly frightening criminal. Ha! The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godo. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. The court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird. Get your emotes ready. Not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. I still hate it that it doesn't appear on the stream, but it's whatever. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. I think the original emote was like Phoenix Please or something like that. What does not guilty look like? What is it called? Let me I'm searching up on 7TV, see what it is. You don't have 7TV, Cheeto? Also, how's it going, Cheeto? That's what it looks like on stream. Oh, Gumbo already did it. I'm using a different system? Okay. 7TV is the one I've been using. Didn't really bother to reinstall Twitch stuff. Yeah, I don't blame you. I wish it kept the original in on the stream, but it's whatever. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. Wait. Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Wait, someone posted a spoiler? You just saw the tag severed? Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well, well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Elohim, what the fuck are you doing? Good boy. I just saw them, yes. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got this got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But only because of Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Real spoiler, Phoenix exists. Alright, Cheeto. Line yourself up, legs akimbo. Thrust it slightly forward. I'm gonna kick it. One clean kick. Elohim demands Elo attention, or I'll bite your Elo balls off. I actually kind of wanted to add like an Elo attention emote, where it was just him like in the way of me. I'm gonna give you guys kitty smacks. And now he's kissing me. I've been kicked 10 kilometers away. Oh no, it's not you that's being kicked. It's your willy that's being kicked clean off. Just wham! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare Elohim.
I fell down.
Your balls go up, you go down. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on the first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. Got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know, I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. And he just sneezed all over my shoes. Glad to have a cat. Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? So how is it, Maggie? It's really good. So the case of the phony versus genuine comes to an end. False allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. And she fucking cleared that. Yay! Next case will only last for one stream. Alright. Turnabout beginnings. Oh wait. Or whatever, however that goes. Anyways, I appreciate everybody being around. Hopefully soon, we can put this game to a close and I can introduce the next two games. But as a note, starting February 1st, I'm going to be working a little bit harder IRL. Just to make up a bit of money. Hopefully, I'll have the energy and the gumption to stream. But I want you guys to know now, just to have the patience about it, you know? Money? Exactly. Anyway, who's on? Oh, watch it live. We'll watch it. We be patient. I appreciate that, guys. You guys, I couldn't have asked for a better community, you know? There's a lot of communities that I see that are fucking toxic as shit and just overall negative. And I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you know that. Even if you can't be here, I appreciate you, like, your guys' support regardless. What are we doing the rate? Final gets job, final gets money, final makes bagels, final gets us bagels, and we have bagels. I mean, if I was to do like I said, go to like some sort of convention, I'm making food. And I'll hopefully get maybe like 1 or 2 people to help. Take care, final. You too, Cheeto. And I hope everybody has a good night. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, guys. Sleep, get water. Wait, that's how you say bagel? Yes. Anyways, take care of yourselves, guys, please. That's all you gotta do for now. Good night.